Yeah, boom to the hay, all you sports fans out there, or to you, the individuals part of the collective in the tubosphere. Welcome to Fast Track Sports Rack. Highlights here on talk radio version of the OMSR. I am your brief but concise host, Will, the alternative spin sports thrill. Alright, so all that catchphraseology just means, yeah, I figure, the sports rack's up on display, fast track, I just blow right by, right through with the blow-by, devastating crossover through the intro. Let you know the clip coming up and why. And the sponsor of the show is the DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Covers fair use, standard, minimal use, and derivatives. So all year long, pretty much gonna be giving out credits left and right to ESPN. Because they are the college basketball platform, along with CBS, but ESPN's really taken over a lot of that. Alright, so it's here. The flagship sports category to the OMSR. This particular clip, doing the Armed Forces this year in Camp Humphreys, South Korea. Now, to those of you watching this particular clip, in and around, on and or around close to Veterans Day, salute all the troops, any veterans you may know, and that's year round, by the way. Now this is pretty cool. The first time around, that was on the channel, but the thing about college basketball, just so you know, not sure how many of those of you I'm going to get through to on this, but like the first one, it was on the Carl Vinson. That was, North Carolina beating up on Michigan State, but the setting was cool. Thing on YouTube is there's all these little third-party content ID entities crying wolf. Let me rephrase that. There's all these little wannabe entities in content licensing running around on YouTube crying third-party content ID wolf. And been many a good basketball game lost on this channel, like when Indiana was upset or Kentucky was upset. So I pared back the music and the length of which. So you get the second half condensed down in about 6 to 8.5 minutes, depending on how much action is going on. That's how it's going to be this year. Alright, I've set it up. Thanks for watching those silly DUIs while you're out there. Roll clips.
South Korea, we're about 40 miles away from Seoul, a city of more than 10 million people. Our home the last few days has been Camp Humphreys here in PYEONGTAEK in South Korea, home to thousands of U.S. military and their families, and home of the Armed Forces Classic here this year is Georgetown, Kingstown, Oregon, and are we excited to be part? Amazing, special event. Look at the atmosphere here. 2,200 members of the military, some family members as well, are all excited to see some college basketball. What a great way here to get the college basketball season started. This is day one of the regular season. The Hoyas and the Ducks ready to go. Welcome to the Armed Forces Classic. Dan Schulman, Jay Billis, honored to be here. Very glad that you're with us at what they call Super Gym here at Camp Humphreys. And it's a super atmosphere to get things started here in the college basketball season. What are you looking for in this game today?
Well, contrasting styles. You've got a team in Oregon under Dana Altman that likes to change defenses, and they'll throw different presses in the backcourt to try to slow the advance. That's less time that they have to guard Georgetown's half-court offense. And even though Georgetown's an outstanding defensive team, they've got terrific guards in Markel Starks and Devontae Smith-Rivera. One of the most interesting things is going to be watching their center, the transfer from UCLA, Joshua Smith. He is a matchup nightmare because of his size. He's got great speed. He's got soft hands. But because of the weight issues that he's had in the past and his conditioning, how long can he play? The issue, Oregon's going to have to run him. To beat him down the floor, involve him in ball screen actions, how long can he stay on the floor? If he can, Georgetown's going to have a real weapon in Joshua Smith.
Good morning to the folks here. Good evening. Last night to the folks back stateside. We're glad you're with us here at Camp Humphreys. The national anthem.
We are free to enjoy this game because of the sacrifices they made. Celebrate these athletes. Cheer for your team. Honor our veterans at the Armed Forces Classic.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we watched at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Well, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly seen, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Yeah, it's a reminder. We take Korea very seriously.
And here we go, ready for basketball now with the Armed Forces Classic at Camp Humphreys here in PYEONGTAEK, South Korea. And the Ducks and the Hoyas, all the rest of us are a long way from home, including many of the great men and women who are serving here. 14 hours. It's Saturday morning. This is breakfast basketball here in South Korea. 14 hours ahead of the East Coast, 17 hours ahead of the West Coast. 6,000, 7,000 miles, however many miles everybody has flown to get here. It is Friday night in Washington, D.C., 10 minutes past 8 Eastern Time. It is 10 minutes past 5 Pacific Time. Friday late afternoon. We are well into Saturday here in South Korea.
We are at Camp Humphreys in PYEONGTAEK, South Korea. This base has been our home for the past week. It is the full-time home to 11,000 military personnel, civilian employees, and family members, and oftentimes that means wives and children. It may not replace what life is like in the U.S., but it is a vibrant town, a big slice of America, smack dab in the middle of South Korea. Here's Chris Connolly.
at work, on duty in South Korea, there are some 5,000 soldiers with their boots on the ground at Camp Humphreys.
This mission is important. Make sure we do the right things, get it done. Cool?
Oh. You're about as far away from America as you can get here in Korea. We're 13 time zones away from the East Coast. So we try to make it as close to the U.S. experience as possible.
Familiar amenities can be seen everywhere on the base itself. Plenty of places to get a bite, refuel in a hurry, get a quick caffeine boost. Service personnel and their families can work out at the 110,000 square foot fitness facility known as the Super Gym. Or just do a little shopping in stores like the ones back home. This bar and grill allows soldiers the opportunity to enjoy that most American of rituals, watching Monday Night Football live. Thanks to the time difference, they're doing so at Tuesday lunch. With more than 11,000 in residence here, part of what's known as the Army Family Covenant seeks to provide a full life for a soldier's loved ones, too. That starts with on-site elementary and high schools for all students. For outdoor recreation, there's the Splish and Splash Water Park. A full-service supermarket, another sign of major change on the base.
Your father, or maybe your older brother who served here 5 or 6 years ago, would see a huge difference and may not even recognize the place if he came back for a visit.
Camp Humphreys has even made Quonset huts a thing of the past, building these new apartments, the ideal place for some R&R as night falls.
Chris Connor with more coming up after this.